Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Continuing on with our tafsir of Surah Aal-Imraan bihawlillahi wa quwwatih, we are on ayah number 107. قال الله تعالى: وَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ ابْيَضَّتْ وُجُوهُهُمْ فَفِي رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. Remember from the last ayah, Allah Jalla wa Ala was speaking about two types of people on Yawm al-Qiyamah. One with white faces, those are the believers, and the others with black faces, those are the kuffar. In this ayah, he speaks about the people with whitened faces. In the previous ayah, he spoke about the people with blackened faces. It should be noted that those with the whitened faces will be the believers, all types of believers. However, we have in the famous narration of the Sahih, in which the Prophet said that you will have a mark which no other ummah would have. You would come with bright white faces and hands from the effects of the wudu. So it appears that this ummah will have some extra noble features which the other nations will not have. Otherwise, like we say, all believers of all nations will have whitened faces. He says in this ayah that as for those who will have whitened faces, then they will be in the rahmah of Allah. What this means is Jannah, because Jannah is the effects of the rahmah of Allah Jalla wa Ala. Hum fiha khalidun, dwelling therein forever. So they will be in Jannah forever. It will not stop. Ayah 108. Tilka ayatu Allahi natluha alayka bilhaqqi wa ma Allahu yuridu dhulman lil'alamin. He says those are the ayat of Allah. Ayat meaning signs. He's referring to what has just preceded. What has just preceded is Allah informing us that the kuffar will have blackened faces and will taste the torment, and the believers will have whitened faces and will be in Jannah forever. So these are the ayat referred to. Natluha, we recite to you. Alayka, meaning to you. Bilhaq, with truth. He says bilhaq, with the truth. Now this means two things. Number one, whatever is recited is true, as opposed to being false. And the second meaning is that it is indeed true that Allah is reciting it to you. This is not some sort of hallucination. So both these tafasir are different, but both are true, because they are not contradictory. And he says that Allah does not want dhulm, oppression or wrongdoing, and we spoke about the word dhulm before, to the alamin. Here the alamin means everything besides Allah. So that Allah Jalla wa Ala does not oppress anyone or anything. Not even animals are oppressed. Ayah 109. وَلِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَإِلَى اللَّهِ تُرْجَعُ الْأُمُورِ. The words of this ayah are clear enough. Nothing particularly different or new. He's telling us about his rububiyyah, that he owns everything in the heavens and the earth. And he says all the matters or all the affairs return to Allah. So this means that he will reward the good doer with good and the evil doer with what they deserve. It also means that all disputes and disagreements will be decided by Allah Jalla wa Ala, because he is the supreme judge. Okay, so let's reflect on these three ayat. We find that the believers will have whitened faces due to their happiness and their joy, and that they will be in the rahmah of Allah, in the mercy of Allah, but here it means Jannah. Remember, rahmah linguistically means every type of goodness and blessing, and the best of all goodness and blessing has to be Jannah. We find that they will be in Jannah khalidun, meaning forever. If one asks, how can the people of Jannah be in Jannah forever, despite the fact that they only worshipped Allah for one lifetime, which is, let's say, 70, 80, 90 years? And the rational answer to this, apart from the textual answers which are quite clear in stating that the people of Jannah will be in Jannah forever, but the rational answer to this would be that Allah judges you by your intentions. And these believers, if they could live on forever, they would worship Allah Jalla wa Ala forever. And this is why they are rewarded with Jannah, which goes on forever. It's all because of their intention. And the same thing is said about the kuffar, being in Jahannam forever. They would go on with their kufr forever if they were given a chance. So they are requited in the same way. We also learn that the Quran is ayat of Allah, which Allah recites to the Prophet. However, the one who is directly reciting to the Prophet is Jibreel. However, Allah Jalla wa Ala uses we recite unto you, the singular plural, because Jibreel is only reciting on behalf of Allah Jalla wa Ala. So Jibreel is Allah's wakil, someone who does the job on your behalf. We find in this ayah Allah Jalla wa Ala is strengthening the iman of the Prophet by telling him that these ayat are recited bil haqq, with truth, which we explained a little earlier. Because people around him from the kuffar were saying that he is crazy, or that he is hearing things, he is hallucinating, and these types of accusations. So it is vital that Allah Jalla wa Ala counters these accusations with ayat like these, affirming to the Prophet that he's not going insane, and this is not all just a hallucination, and so on. We also take that Allah does not love oppression, and He has made it haram on Himself to oppress anyone from His creation. And He does not oppress anyone because of His perfect justice. And we also take the rububiyyah of Allah Jalla wa Ala in that He owns everything in the heavens and the earth. Also notice the plural, heavens, so we know there are 7 layers from other evidence, of course. Earth is used in the singular, but we know from other evidence, such as the ayah in Surah At-Talaq, that there are also 7 layers of the earth. And we learn that every single judgment that needs to be made on Yawm al-Qiyamah belongs to Allah, no one else. هذا والله أعلم.